All right, guys, real quick, I'm going to talk about, I've had questions on this, and I don't know, I never really think about it much because I'm fortunate to have good equipment, and then I'm trying a bunch of new equipment, and it's all been relatively good. However, I don't have the experience and rounds through it that I do with the 320 platform, specifically my Lockwood Gray Guns upper. The questions I get: how often do you clean? What do you use? Stuff like that. So I figured I'd just throw a video up real quick to answer them all. This is my opinion and what I do. If you're not comfortable with it, it's really up to you. But it kind of seems to be the theme of shooters that shoot a lot of rounds that have good equipment. So I can only speak for my equipment, but however, I know there's good equipment out there, other guns that perform well with a lot of rounds with minimal cleaning. So for me, so 320s. Okay, that's what I've shot the most of. This one was cleaned like brand new from Gray Guns, because this is what I'm taking to the World Shoot. So it's got less than maybe 1,000, not even 1,000 rounds. So let's look at this. So we'll open it up. We'll see it's got less than 1,000 for sure. And if you look at this, it's, for my standard, this is clean. I know that's not going to really compute with a lot of law enforcement and military. Even though I'm prior law enforcement, I'd always get in trouble like my gun's dirty. I don't trust that the gun's going to work or function unless I have at least 100 rounds through it after a cleaning. I got to have at least a couple. I try to get 200 or 300 rounds, and then I'm good. Before a match for something, I know it's been working for several hundred rounds, and it's going to continue to work. So this, we'll say it's just shy of 1,000 rounds. That's still clean to me. So I have no problem taking that to a match, trusting this gun to run 100%. This one, practice gun. Okay, just guns are a little different. Practice guns, we run them until something stops. Simple as that. Either I don't really have anything break, haven't yet, but I'm trying to think. Besides optics, I've never broken a hollow sun optic, but I've broken plenty of optics. That's usually the number one fail thing until I switch to hollow sun. This has about probably like 4,000 rounds, maybe ish, something like that. And I may have wiped it down a couple times, so it doesn't really look 4 or 5. I haven't done a thorough cleaning where I actually take it apart and I spray brake clean is what I use. I just use brake clean, high pressure, to just spray it out. Then I'll wire brush the parts that need to be brushed, and then wipe it down, and then use Lucas oil. That's all I do. So let's look at this one. This one is closer to 4,000 or 5,000 rounds, probably been wiped down at least once. That's kind of considered cleaning. I just wipe all the excess off. You can see some of the brass shavings or unburnt powder, stuff like that, as well as all the carbon. It's fine. Like, I've ran these things probably 6,000-7,000 rounds without cleaning them, and they just keep running. The only issue on these, and this is where it differs from platform to platform, the key is to learn your gun, shoot it enough. I would recommend, unless it's your duty weapon or something, shoot it until it fails. Meaning, don't clean it, don't do anything to it, just keep putting rounds through it until ultimately something fails. You need to know your weak points in your firearm, in my opinion, to really learn and understand them. So I will tell you, the weak point for me in these is where it starts to fail is the extractor will bypass the spent brass, the shelf. I'm blanking on what that's called, but anyways, you know what I mean. The extractor grabs the back of the brass and rips it out. So the carbon builds up on the extractor. So the only thing I actually clean, I wire brush. A lot of times I just leave it in there until it really fails. Not on my match guns that I'm going to a match. I'll take them out and make sure, and I'll scrape them clean. But on my practice guns, I just wire brush them and call it good. And and if it fails, I don't really care. It's practice, whatever. I'll just run a brush through it. So that is the weak point. Other than that, everything seems to be fine. It runs. I don't even know how long if I just kept doing that, I don't even know how many rounds I could continually put through this gun before it actually stops working in another area. So I just haven't, I mean, I know I've probably put 10,000 rounds through a gun, and I've only cleaned the extractor and just keep going, and they keep working. So understanding your fail points, or things that you must, you know, take a little bit of care in, is important. But you can't do that unless you're putting the rounds through it. So not everybody can afford that, I get it, but that is ideal, is becoming intimate with your firearm, so that you know what to look for, you know, and really understanding the gun you're using. So that's it. I use brake clean. When I do an actual deep clean, I use brake clean, and then Lucas oil. So that's it. Understand where you need to oil things. Competition guns get a lot more oil than like duty guns, because you don't want them collecting all the dust and grime and tweaker juice, whatever, you know, getting in there. But still, it's important whether you fired or not. I mean, I would always open mine up. I would just reapply a little oil and kind of wipe it off, just so it's just in there a little bit. But my comp guns, I mean, I don't care if they're dripping oil. I don't keep them running, because we use them a lot more in competitions, shoot a lot more rounds through them. And yeah, so that's my take on cleaning. Gun care is, for me, I don't really care for them.